Well, in this game, I get to talk about the characters, and well, in all honesty, I thought I was going to be talking about Persona 4 before I really did get to this game. Really, the only reason why I haven't reviewed Persona 4 yet is because I lost interest in playing the game at one point. I think it was a little bit too much of a Persona, like, burnout, because literally, this is when I had no income of my own, and I was pretty much getting, like, Nintendo eShop cards and PlayStation Network cards. And I waited until I got a PlayStation Network card, so I went and bought Persona 4, and literally right after beating Persona 3. So yeah, again, I think I just got burned out with Persona. I had to wait a while before picking it back up. But with Persona 5, no burnout there, and I was really hyped for this game. The first trailer I saw was weird. It had text saying that, well, you're a slave, and asking if you want emancipation. You know, I could make a joke about my race, but in all honesty, that actually really got me interested in Persona 5 because of these trailers. It got me very hyped for the game. It was going to be released for the PS3 in late 2014, pushed back to 15 to include a PS4 port, and then finally released in 2016 for Japan only. Oh. The rest of the world did get the game in 2017, but still, the wait was a little long. I mean, goddamn. I really wanted to get this game, and well, it was released. I got the PS3 version, and well, Persona 3 is still my favorite, but this game is definitely my second favorite game. Why do I say this? Well, let's find out. This is my review of Persona 5. This game starts out with a heist, and apparently this is actually my GTA 5 review, so where the fuck is Trevor?
Fucking shit! Cunt! Who the fuck are you speaking to? Who? I'm talking to you, huh? You fuck! Johnny! Huh? Next time, don't get in my fucking face!
Joking aside, you're basically escaping a casino after, well, robbing it. But the good times doesn't last. After that scene, we get to see our tax stylist continue to be hard at work with a very intense interrogation scene. Being forced to sign a confession, this is where you get to name the protagonist. Just like in Persona 3, I'll be referring to a protagonist with a pre-established name. And well, I'm going with Akira, and well, his interrogation doesn't stop as well signing the confession. A character named Sei comes in to get some more information, and well, we see the events that lead up to this shit show we see right here. After being arrested for a crime that he didn't commit, Akira goes to live in a different city under the watch of Sojiro. Sojiro is a cafe owner, but he's also judge, jury, and executioner, because if you don't stay out of trouble, he'll get you sent back into jail, and well, life sucks. On the first day of his new school, Akira runs into a boy named Ryuji, a character whose surname, I should say, gets mispronounced on a constant basis because no one taught any of the voice actors to pronounce Sakamoto. Yes, it's not pronounced Sakamoto, just getting that out right now. But anyways, getting back on track, before that, Akira was, well, standing next to a girl named An, after, well, finding a spot to get out of the rain. A car pulls up and, well, the driver, Kamoshida, offers An a ride to school, and, well, he also offers a ride to Akira, but declines. And well, this is where Ryuji comes into play, as he has some choice words for Kamoshida.
Screw that pervy teacher.
Pervy teacher?
Yeah, an app on Akira's phones basically records that message and, well, activates the navigation. And upon arrival to school, apparently it turns into a castle. And well, after entering the castle, Akira and Ryuji gets knocked out by the shadows. And well, are locked up. The owner of this castle is, well, Kamoshida. And yeah, Kamoshida is a teacher at the school Akira now attends, and well, yeah, we get to see his true colors here. But after awakening to his persona in the coolest way possible, Ryuji and Akira escapes the prison cells and runs into a talking cat. Yeah, if you're smoking a joint, you don't need to put it down, because this is Persona, and it happened before was in Persona 4 was Teddy, that pun-making dipshit. The cat's name is, well, Morgana, and after helping the two escape, it's revealed that this cat has a persona as well. I mean, sweet Jesus. After escaping this place, they get in trouble because, well, the school day is half over. And, well, they saw some of the students in the cells of the castle. And, well, the next day, Ryuji comes back to talk to Akira and try to retrace its steps to get back into the metaverse. Using the same app that kind of activated on its own the first time, the two manage to get back into the metaverse and meet back up with Morgana. And while exploring the areas, the two see the meta students again, but the meta students are basically going through torture. And, well, Morgana explains that if this shit is happening to them here, something fucked up is happening to them in the real world. And, well, this is obviously at the hands of Kamoshida, because guess who the king of the castle is? And, well, when they try to get back to the real world to talk to the real-life students of the meta students, Ryuji awakens to his persona, and, well, during the day of the volleyball rally, Akira and Ryuji goes to talk to the students that they saw in the metaverse, but every single student is denying that any actual abuse is happening. And spoiler alert, yeah, they really are getting abused. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is that the students, all these students are on the volleyball team. And what's happening to the women's volleyball team is even more fucked up because of how the metaverse version of On looks. So yeah, something more fucked up is fucking happening to them. I mean, yeah, goddamn, that's fucking creepy. Morgana finds the two in the real world and explains that there's a way to make Kamoshida to basically just change his heart. Because again, he's a major asshole. And well, to dethrone the king, they need to make the castle disappear. And well, Akira runs into the real life On and overhears her conversation and remembers that again, Kamoshida is not a nice guy. Well, not a nice guy is an understatement because of what he wants On to do. Ugh. The next day, On's friend Shiho jumps off the roof because, well, of what Kamoshida made her do.
I'm going to jump!
No!
Do a flip!
Yeah, I'm going to hell for adding that clip to the plot synopsis. But again, getting back to the fact that Shiho jumped because of what Kamoshida made her do, yeah, you could put two and two together. Yeah, it's kind of... No, it's not kind of fucked up. It is fucked up. And, well, when Ryuji and Akira try to confront Kamoshida with another student named Mishima, things doesn't go well. because Kamoshida is going to get Ryuji and Mishima expelled from the school and Akira back in jail, though they do have a deadline to change Kamoshida's heart. Acting as Phantom Thieves under the help of Morgana, they go back into the metaverse for a specific target. This target is Kamoshida's treasure, and when they enter the metaverse, they unknowingly take An with them. And while she's mistaken as the metaverse version of An, and is taken into the castle by the shadows. When the others figure out that while she's in there, they go to save her, and An awakens to a persona of her own. And now it's up to the Phantom Thieves of Heart to change Kamoshida's heart. And when they do, they decide to continue being Phantom Thieves, going after only those that they agree as a team to, go after to make the world better. And they gain new members with each new target, and they try to stay out of the lost site and going to bed like a good boy because Morgana is one determined cat to get Akira to sleep.
Where do you think you're going? You haven't done anything all day. You must be incredibly tired. You should go to sleep.
Joking aside, the story's actually pretty good. The twist at the end can actually come out of nowhere if you didn't really pay attention to one line. But the bigger twist actually comes with the way that the Phantom Thieves sniffed out the rat. Yeah, the main reason why, the gun hitting Akira's face happened is because someone gave you up. And yeah. If there is one big problem I could give with the story, it would be the dungeons. Now, up until Persona 4, the dungeons really didn't add anything new to the story via symbolism. And the only dungeon here that does that is Futaba's dungeon. But that's really it. I really would have wanted to know more on why these people are so fucked in the head. And other than that, I really did like the story. Each game in the Persona series does have an underlying theme, and this game's theme hits you right in the face, but it's something I love the most about it. This game's theme is rebellion and freedom. Again, hits you right in the face, and it feels right for this game. Because that's what you're doing in this game. Rebelling. Be focused on the underdogs, striking back at the evils in this society. Though if you're one of those people who only like Persona for the stories and are unsure about the story for this game, look up the one-shot anime Persona 5, the animation, The Daybreakers. And we just see the Phantom Thieves trying to change the heart of this one random asshole because he keeps, stealing shit and, laying the beat down on his brother. Hey, I guess you could say his brother never saw it coming, and hell, if his brother ever walks into a door, you just need to replace the doors with, Nerf doors.
Well then, can I interest you in our line of Nerf doors? What about stairs? She's gonna need some Nerf stairs, too.
Now, before I get to the characters as a whole in the Persona series, let me talk about the characters in this game first. And they're just alright in this game. We get to see their motivations, but we only really get to know Futaba the best. I say this because in conjunction with having a social link, she also has a palace of her own. And this is the only character that we really get to see in her turmoil. The symbolism here shows the lies that she's been told as a child, and said lies make her so depressed to the point of, suicide. Yeah, that's mainly because her palace is a goddamn tomb, and her shadow keeps saying that she wants to die there. I mean, goddamn. For the other palace owners, we don't really get to see the real reason why they snapped like this. And to sum up every palace owner without spoiling it and excluding Futaba, it goes as so. Quagmire from Family Guy from Season 9 to now, only really fucking creepier. A discount mafia leader. President Donald Trump. A female Manfred von Karma before Francesca von Karma was introduced. And finally, Senator Armstrong. Yeah, we really don't get full-out reasons onto why the other palace owners really become twisted. And if there was any symbolism in their dungeons for that, I could be missing them. Because, again, it took me a while to figure out what the hell happened to Angela Roscoe in Silent Hill 2. And just, again, we don't really see any inner turmoil for these guys. Now, granted, Futaba was the only one who somehow entered her palace, so that really has, well, a factor in it. And yeah, that's kind of it. Though one weird complaint people throw to this game is that the villains are too cartoonish. Hey, guys, quick question. Y'all realize that the villains are the manifestations, well, the villains that we focus on are the manifestation of the disordered desires of the real-life versions of the palace owners? Yeah, it kind of makes sense for the villains to be cartoonish, because again, they're the distorted desires of the real-life counterparts. Okay, time for why I love the characters in Persona so much as a whole. They really feel human, especially Persona 3 onward. This is because of the social links. I know here they're called confidants, but they're still social links. And well, it's great to get further backstories on your party. And well, see the struggles that they go through, and to see what people outside of the main situation actually go through on a daily basis. In fact, to be perfectly honest, in Persona 1 and 2, it would be kind of cool to see them remade into the styles of the newer Persona games. To, well, get further development on characters like Reiji and his beef with Kandori. I mean, goddamn, because I swear half of his dialogue, if you recruit him on your team, is about taking Kandori down. I mean, goddamn. It would also be cool to see how much impact Yamaoka's death had on Nanjo. And while with Persona 2, getting further backstory on Lisa's life would be kind of cool, mainly because apparently she used to light it up. I mean, goddamn, she used to be a druggie, mainly because of the perfect Japanese maiden thing that her parents were kind of forcing onto her. And well, not to say that these games did a bad job with handling the characters, I think they did great. I think I just prefer the modern games with how they handled the characters. In terms of gameplay, you could call Persona 5 Revelations Persona 2.0. Because just like in that game, the characters have a melee weapon along with a long-range weapon, or in Haru's case, a goddamn grenade launcher. I mean, sweet Jesus. This game kind of makes it hard to go back to other games in the series, because I counted multiple times when we're recording the footage for Persona 3 that I activated auto a lot while putting my fate into the dipshit AI. I mean, seriously, they didn't program the rest of the brains to the members of C's. I mean, goddamn. Anyways, though weirdly enough, I didn't really have that issue while playing through Eternal Punishment or the first game on the PSP. I guess mainly because I was focusing on just planning my moves out, but more on that when I review Revelations Persona and get to the Persona 2 duology. Here, though, the battle system is more streamlined than ever. Hit a specific button for a specific action. Hey, that reminds me of work, as I work at a Dollar General, and we gotta hit specific buttons for each type of payment method. Though, unlike Revelations Persona, you actually have an ammo count for guns. New attack abilities are added to the game, with about 2 of those abilities returning from earlier Persona games. Though 2 new elements are added to the game, psychokinetic skills and nuclear skills. Technically, you could say nuclear is a returning element, but in Shin Megami Tensei Persona, Migito skills are nuclear, yes, but they work just as what almighty damage works. As I said, consider this game to be a remade Revelations Persona because this adds contacting demons back into the fray. And, well, to be perfectly honest, to get on a small little tangent, I would have preferred the enemies inside the palaces to be called demons because of, they're tackling the inner demons of one specific character, and the enemies you find in Mementos to be shadows, just a combination of the world's demons. And, well, with Mementos, going to put Shuffle Time back in the mix. So, yeah, if you actually really like Shuffle Time, you're not going to find it in this game, but again, that's just me personally with how the naming scheme goes. But to go back on track, contacting is a little finicky. And well, to be perfectly honest, it's always been finicky since, well, the first Shin Megami Tensei game. But then again, for that, I still have yet to beat it. But unlike previous Persona games with contacting, you don't get a meter to tell you if you're close to just recruiting the shadow to your team. And well, I don't like this because I'm just used to having the meter and strategizing on who to pick to actually talk to the demons to get a spell card or an X amount of tarot cards. Running around in the palace now adds Metal Gear elements into the fray. Each time you're spotted by a shadow, the shadow chases you down and a meter increases. If this meter is maxed out, you are kicked out of the palace, so make sure you get to the safe rooms quickly so you can fast travel there immediately. Though you have to be careful because enemies will also get stronger the more the security level is up. But getting back to safe rooms, you can only fast travel at the entrance and in other safe rooms. And while this does help with progress, but if you get kicked out, you made a shit ton of progress and didn't find the current area's safe room, have fun traveling all the way back. Now, I've never been kicked out of the palace, so I can't really say anything about it, but I really do believe it would definitely suck. But here's the thing, I'm not bragging or anything, mainly because I'm just super paranoid with this shit, man. I mean, that's part of the reason why I didn't be a Metal Gear game for a while. One way to actually stay out of the sight of the shadows is to find special hiding spots. Now, to easily find these, you get an ability called the Third Eye, and while holding down the button for the Third Eye, you can see, special treasure pods or whatever, and, the spaces that you can hide at. And while hiding, you can actually ambush enemies, and this is really satisfying to do. And just like getting a player advantage in Persona 3 and 4, the enemies can't do shit for the first couple of turns. Just remember though, because enemies can, do that as well. And for the Reaper, it's actually recommended to let it ambush you, because otherwise the Reaper gets 2 turns. Though, I really highly recommend this. Wait until flu season, and go after the Reaper. Mainly because during flu season, a new status element introduced in this game called Despair will randomly affect shadows. So when the Reaper appears, keep attacking and retreating until, the Reaper is suffering with despair, because after about 2 to 3 turns, enemies or your party members, if they get inflicted with despair, will kill themselves after, again, 2 or 3 turns. Alright, social links are here and they're more important than ever. Team perks are still there, adding a new perk called Baton Pass, allowing a character with Baton Pass unlocked to give their turn to a different party member when scoring once more. Though social links allow you to do more stuff in battle, like having more ammo on hand, swapping party members during battles, and a lot of other stuff. I highly recommend just going after a lot of these social links because, again, of the battle benefits that they give. Though don't forget about the social stats, because a lot of the social links won't open until they're at a certain level, and that sucks, but fuck it. New Game Plus for the win, because a lot of these you just have to have them, one of the social stats maxed out to even finish them. And, a returning mechanic from Persona 4 is a time limit to, complete the dungeons. Though, to even initiate the dungeon, you have to, not the dungeon, the final boss, you have to send a calling card the day before. And on a technical sense, if the game says you have 20 days left, sorry about that, to actually take out the boss to get the treasure, you actually have 18 days, because 1 day is, set aside to actually send the calling card out. So it can not only be seen by your target, but a lot of people as well. You have to make sure you're ready to fight the boss the next day, because since you do send the calling card out, you have to fight the boss. Because, the treasure will be only available that day and that day only. After that, it's game over. So get everything done before you do decide to, send out the calling card, but make sure you manage your time wisely, because the loading screen says take your time, and you really do, guys, take your time with this. Each dungeons really do support their own specific gimmicks, and when it comes down to Kumura's dungeon, you really don't need to know anything about spaceships. Getting back to the Revelations Persona comparison, when it comes down to the reoccurring dungeon mementos, just like in areas in Revelations Persona and the Persona 2 duology, this area allows you to fight old enemies to get them to join your gang of dipshits, or just, getting old items. And this also allows you to take down mini-bosses to help the lives of other individuals in the world, this game looks fucking awesome, with a lot of style and flair. I don't really know what else to say about the graphics, they're just awesome. The anime cutscenes are, they still look great. But this game also includes real-time cutscenes, a returning thing from Persona Q. Though, since this is a console game and not a handheld, these cutscenes are cranked up to 1,000,000. I'm not even kidding. Everyone except for Akira gets a real-time cutscene for their awakenings, and they just look fucking awesome. I'd say my favorite is Makoto's Awakening, just because of, well, car games and motorcycles, but in all honesty, Makoto's Phantom Thief costume just looks badass, and her persona, Johanna, being a motorcycle is just awesome. Though, I wish her evolved persona didn't become a transformer, because her being on a motorcycle is much more cooler, because, well, it just looks a hell of a lot cooler. And well, the music is awesome, mainly because it's jazz, and well, jazz is just awesome! You can hear it as soon as you hear the opening, which is now my favorite Persona opening. Wake up, get out there, it's just so awesome. And again, it's my favorite theme. Though, my favorite theme in general from this game has to be Rivers in the Desert. Oh boy, that is just awesome. This is the only game to have the main character actually talk during cutscenes. I don't really count Persona Q, because when you're controlling Narukami, he doesn't talk, only Yuki does. And well, yeah, that's basically it. Having battle quotes is just fine, but again, with Persona 4, having Johnny Young Bosch talking to Johnny Young Bosch is just weird. I mean, god damn. So now, taking into account story, characters, gameplay, graphics, and sound, Persona 5 gets a 9 out of 10. I love this game, and it's definitely second on my top 7 Persona games, because I really do love all of the RPG Persona games. The battle system is, well, better than ever, and well, the game is just really fun to play. Though Persona 3 still may be my favorite on how dark it is, the story of this game, however, still had some great moments. Though I really do wish we got to know a little more about these characters. Maybe seeing what one character went through during their childhood and other than that, but again, I just really do like these characters. Music is as awesome as ever, and well, the graphics, they just look great. At this point in time, Persona 5 is available for the Sony PlayStation 3 and 4. If you haven't played it already, I highly recommend you do, but don't forget about Persona 3 and whatnot.